I have a toddler, ma'am. He headbutt me all the time. I have braces in my mouth, so that was old. That wasn't nothing. I didn't have a physical altercation with Nick because he never got out the car. Like, we just was arguing through the glass. He kept telling me leave, and I started banging on his windshield, and he pulled off immediately after. And I jumped in my car and followed him and called the police.
This parole hearing explodes fast. A firearm allegation, a domestic battery charge. Then the twist. The accuser admits she lied to get him arrested. But the paperwork says injuries. Witnesses, a pattern from years ago. Now the board has to decide who's lying today and who was lying back then. He says it's heartbreak. She says it was anger. The state says it's violence. When stories change mid-hearing, credibility collapses. And when parole is on the line, "I was mad" isn't a defense, it's a warning sign. Watch how fast excuses unravel when the panel starts pulling threads.
Hey, good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. On my left is Carolyn Stapleton. To my right is Danny Barra. I'm Jerry Ledoux. Our remote site right now is the Point Capee jail, or Point Capee Parish Jail. With the staff there, introduce yourself.
Yes, this is Deputy Tommy Harris. Deputy Chanel Coleman.
Thank you very much. Within the last, since he's been incarcerated there, have y'all had any trouble with the suspender?
No, ma'am.
Sir, would you please state your name and your DOC number for the record?
Nicholas Powell, DOC number 704756.
Okay. Mr. Powell, you're before this panel today with allegations of violating the conditions of your parole. And we have to go through those, and you're going to give us a plea guilty state or not. And at this time, Ms. Stapleton is going to read those.
Okay, Mr. Powell, on rule violation number 4, on 3/16/2025, you were arrested by the Point Capee Parish Sheriff's Office for aggravated assault with a firearm and domestic abuse battery. The subject was billed with aggravated assault with a firearm and domestic abuse battery with a dangerous weapon, PCP 86845F. Probable cause was found for domestic abuse battery only based on the New Roads Police Department arrest and offense report. On 11/13/2025, in the 18th JDC, the pending charges were non-prossed at the victim's request under docket PCP 86845F. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Can you hear me? How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay. And then number 10, you are currently $3,255 in arrears towards supervision fees. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty on that one?
Not guilty.
Not guilty or guilty? I couldn't understand you.
Not guilty.
Not guilty?
No.
Okay. So right now we have a Miss Jada Baptiste, ex-girlfriend and the victim, who says she would like to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What would you like to say?
I just want to give you a brief summary on what happened. The day everything happened, we had gotten to it days prior. I hadn't seen him all day that day. I haven't heard from him that night. And I just took it upon myself to just pop up unannounced. And when I got there, he was standing outside of a female's car. A female was out there he was talking to. And when he seen me, he ran and jumped in his car, locked the doors. I got out the car, went to his car, arguing with him. He would not get out the car. He just kept telling me leave. I started banging on his glass, and he pulled off. And I got in my car and followed him. And by me being so hurt and upset because of what I seen, ma'am, I just called the police and said what I know what to say for the police to come and arrest him. At that moment in time, I was just I just didn't care. I didn't. I really didn't. Like so I know it was a wrong thing for me to do, but I'd rather just not see him in jail for something that's gonna ruin his life, and he really is a good person.
Okay, well,
I was very enraged.
hmm. Well, let me ask you some questions about your statements, okay?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Ms. Baptiste stated that Powell forcefully took her phone from her hand. As she demanded it back, Powell allegedly stated, B, if you leave, I'll shoot this car up. In response, Ms. Baptiste recalled saying, shoot it up. Powell then allegedly fired one round between her vehicle and its crash cam. Who's got a crash cam on their car? Which would be some video.
Um,
Do you have a crash cam on your car?
no, ma'am.
Do you, sir?
No, she said a trash can or
A trash can.
Trash can.
Fired one round between her vehicle and its trash can, but it should have just been the trash can. Is that right? Okay. So tell me about the gun.
There's no gun, ma'am. I was dating Nick for 4 years. I knew about his previous arrests. I knew what was said that got him arrested last time, and I knew exactly what to say to get him arrested, ma'am, to get him to go to prison. I knew exactly what to say. I knew to say his name, and I knew what to say. I explained this to the DA. I explained this to. I was very upset.
Not an excuse.
I know.
You know, that's a criminal charge.
I know, ma'am.
And you weren't given a criminal charge.
No.
And you said you knew how to do this before.
No, I was saying I knew about his previous charges, so I knew what to say. But I never did this before, ma'am. Never did this before ever in my life. Never.
Simultaneously, Ms. Baptiste stated that a gray Honda pulled up, at which point Powell allegedly placed a firearm in the vehicle belonging to, I ain't gonna say her name because you're saying that you lied about everything. So belonging to another person, a female. While Powell still had Miss Baptiste's phone and keys, she attempted to retrieve them, at which point a physical altercation ensued. During the struggle, Powell allegedly punched Miss Baptiste in her face with a closed fist, causing an injury to her upper lip and a small laceration inside her mouth from contact with her braces. After regaining possession of her phone, Miss Baptiste stated that Powell fled the location in the black Dodge Charger, at which point she pursued him until law enforcement officers intercepted and detained Powell. Based upon the evidence, witness statements, and victim testimony, the following charges are recommended. First, it was aggravated assault with a firearm that was discharged in her direction, but that has been no PC found on that one. But then a domestic abuse battery. He got a charge for that. That is still pending. Powell forcefully took the victim's phone and during the altercation punched her in the face, causing documented injuries. And then additional notes are the firearm remains and unrecovered. Continued efforts are required to locate and secure the weapon. Further forensic analysis and surveillance footage, if available, is pending. Additional witness interviews is ongoing. After his arrest, being advised of his rights, the location, Powell was transported to the local detention center in good condition for housing. So what about your lip?
I have a toddler, ma'am. He headbutt me all the time. I have braces in my mouth. So that was old. That was nothing. I didn't have a physical altercation with Nick because he never got out the car. Like we just was arguing through the glass. He kept telling me leave, and I started banging on his windshield, and he pulled off immediately after. And I jumped in my car and followed him and called the police. Like when he seen me, he ran and jumped in his car. Like
Anybody else have something to say? Questions?
No,
I got it. Ms. Baptiste, you know, it seems like it's all coming down to, do we believe you for telling the truth to the police? Or do we believe you are telling the truth to us?
Had been before he was even took to the detention center. I had all like after I wrote the statement and everything, and I thought about everything. Like I had already tried to fix things before he was even taken into custody. Like this ain't just this. I didn't just change my story or anything today or last week or months prior. This happened the day he was arrested, like the night he was arrested.
let me ask. Okay. Let's go back, Mr. Powell, to the same period of supervision. Since you've been on supervision since 10 of 20, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You had an arrest August 31st, 2022, in which another female reported that you shot at her 5 to 6 times.
That wasn't true. I can explain that if you want me to.
Sure.
Ma'am.
Yes, please
Sure.
explain.
Well, earlier that day, it had started raining. I didn't have a ride to the store, so I had called her, and she took me to the store. It started back like kind of drizzling. I went in the house for the well, me and the girl was in front of my house. Uh, Basically, I left out the back door for to see another female. She stayed in front of the house for a couple hours. My mom pulled up. My mom had stated that she was knocking on the door for me, but I was gone. I was in another area with another female, and she got upset from that. She got upset from that.
And so somebody else said that you had a gun. You know, right now it's not looking good.
But the charge has been dropped, just like these.
And-
She came out to.
But it says witnesses gave supporting statements that you shot at this person 5 to 6 times. There were witnesses that gave supporting statements.
If it was witnesses, why would the charge drop?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Because here we have the same thing again.
When I was up in here 2022,
Yeah.
it was basically like the same situation, just heartbroken and just every time I meet a new person, I don't know hide my background from them. Like I just tell them my background, like basically like my whole story of my life.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. In this situation, if there's an error to be made, I'm going to err on the side of caution when it becomes domestic violence. And we got two, allegations of you shooting a weapon at a female, two different females. And this one right here, she told the police that she had a busted lip, that you hit her with a closed fist. And you were charged with that. So based upon what she told police, I am going to revoke you today because of your domestic violence charge.
Mr. Byrock?
I concur for the same reason.
Mr. Powell, I think you pose a public safety threat. My vote is also to revote. By unanimous decision, your request for parole has been denied, and that, for revocation, you've
But
been revoked.
can, can, can y'all,
The board chose safety over stories. The judge used discretion, weighed patterns, and ruled on risk, not excuses. Your choices stacked up, and parole doesn't absorb repeated chaos. Final question: when credibility collapses and allegations repeat, should the system give another chance or protect the public? Do you think the judge was right, or did the defendant waste his final chance? Comment below, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns.